And Archdemons Dilemma was an anime that didn't really seem to interest me, despite the fact it's both a fantasy and a romance anime when there's nothing I love more. But I'm extremely glad that I decided not to sleep on this anime and actually watch it. I will say I don't think this anime has anything particularly spectacular or special when it comes down to the story or the villains, but it is fairly smooth sailing and it's definitely worth a watch. But honestly, it's okay that it's nothing that special because the actual storyline isn't what made me thankful I watched this anime, it's just the main cast. I mean, the relationship between Neffy and Zagan was just cute as fuck. I mean, both of them are extremely awkward and quirky with a little bit of shyness, but it makes it so fun to watch and adds some really cute moments. Plus, there's the fact that the other characters like Chastille and Four both add to this little wholesome family perfectly, and to be honest, I'd even include that shop owner as well. Even though she's not exactly in the inner circle of characters, I absolutely love her, and the same goes for Raphael, who ended up becoming their butler in the end. I mean, this group of characters alone is just what gives this anime life and makes it worth it. I'd imagine that some of you would probably expect me to say that Neffy is my favorite character, considering the fact that she's an elf and cute as fuck, but actually, she's not. You see, personally, for me, Chastille is best girl. I fucking love her. I mean, she's completely useless outside of a fight, she's clumsy AF, but she's also the kind of character that you just admire for having a genuine good heart and personality. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that she's low-key crushing on Zagan, but she knows that she just wants him and Neffy to be happy and supports them no matter what, which again is just another really wholesome thing for her to do, which just shows how much she actually cares, and it's much better than her just trying to force her way into a harem, and honestly, you just gotta love her for that. You can't not. But while we're speaking about Neffy and Zagan, these two are the two main characters for a reason, and as I mentioned earlier, they are genuinely cute as fuck together. And I'm not gonna lie, as individuals, I think they're both really good characters, but there is some areas to them that I wish we got to explore more of. But obviously, this is a fantasy anime, so as you can imagine, Zagan is fairly overpowered. I mean, he does become an archdemon, so I guess that's pretty much a given. But Neffy, on the other hand, is actually someone who Zagan bought as a slave after falling in love at first sight. And unfortunately for her, she can't really use sorcery at all, but she does have this weird power to manipulate nature, but if I remember correctly, we only saw her use that like once. And that's exactly what I mean when I say there's things that I wish we explored more of, because despite the fact that these two are very clearly in love, Neffy is supposed to be his apprentice too, but I don't really recall seeing her actually learn any sorcery. I mean, I could be mistaken, because honestly, I was so surprised by the last episode of this anime that a lot of things that happened in it just kind of left my brain. And that's because for once in anime, we actually have a final episode that was probably the perfect ending to an anime like this. I mean, it was just the right amount of wholesomeness and exactly what we needed to wrap this up. I mean, we finally got to see the two of them dance together and be cute and stuff, but more importantly than that, we got to see all of the characters come together and actually be like a proper family in the final episode, and that just felt like the perfect way to end the anime. And since it was such a perfect way to end it, I'm not even that bothered if we don't get a season 2, because even though I would genuinely want one, and I would watch it if we got one, we don't technically need one because the ending was just perfect. But I do want to see more of those demons that look like Upgrade from Ben 10, but if we don't get it, it is what it is. But overall, I think I'm going to rate this anime a 7.5 because it genuinely did exceed my expectations. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I wasn't even sure if I was going to watch this anime because I thought it would just be average at best, and for some reason it just wasn't appealing to me. But honestly, it turned out to be a really cute romance in a fantasy setting with fairly entertaining humor and a really good cast of characters. But I am only giving it a 7.5 because of course this anime does have its flaws, like the fact that the plot doesn't provide the best storytelling, but it's still worth a watch in my opinion since it is so wholesome and I just enjoyed it. But with that being said, make sure you subscribe and remember to feed your goldfish, pet your dog, and tell your family you love them. Peace the fuck out.